I'm going to walk you through 7 crisp bread brands you need to stop buying immediately. We're talking foreign corporate ownership hidden behind Nordic heritage, chemical contamination, and processing methods that produce carcinogenic compounds. Then, I'll show you what to look for if you want crisp bread that actually deserves your money. And if you stick around until the end, I'll teach you exactly how to spot a quality crisp bread in any supermarket, so you never get fooled again. Number 1. Wasa. This is Scandinavia's most consumed crisp bread, found in kitchens across Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and 40 other countries worldwide. And it's built on a lie. Wasa markets itself as authentic Swedish tradition dating back to 1919. The packaging features Nordic imagery, Swedish royal connections, and messaging about Scandinavian heritage. What they don't emphasize is that Wasa hasn't been Swedish-owned for over 40 years. In 1983, Wasa was sold to Sandoz, a Swiss pharmaceutical corporation that later merged to become Novartis. Then in 1999, ownership transferred to Barilla, an Italian pasta conglomerate headquartered in Parma. Your Swedish crisp bread is owned by the same Italian company that makes spaghetti and marinara sauce. But the corporate history isn't even the worst part. Look at who's running this company. In September 2013, Barilla's chairman Guido Barilla appeared on Italian radio station Radio 24 and declared he would never feature gay families in company advertisements because he doesn't agree with their lifestyle. His exact words were, "If gays don't like it, they can go eat another brand." This triggered a massive international boycott with the hashtags Boycott Barilla and Boycotta Barilla trending worldwide. The company has since tried to rehabilitate its image, but the comments came from the chairman, whose family owns 85% of company shares. And there's more. In 2022, a class action lawsuit was certified in California federal court, alleging that Barilla deliberately misleads consumers into believing their products are made in Italy with Italian ingredients. The lawsuit claims the company uses Italian flag imagery and the slogan, "Italy's #1 brand of pasta," to deceive customers, when the products are actually manufactured in Iowa and New York. The judge ruled that plaintiffs suffered economic injury, and the case is ongoing as of 2025. This is the company controlling what gets sold as authentic Swedish crisp bread. Now let's talk about what's actually in your Wasa. The company operates bakeries in Filipstad, Sweden, Hamar, Norway, and Schelle, Germany. That means your Swedish crisp bread might actually be coming from a German factory. And the baking process itself creates a hidden concern that applies to almost every crisp bread on this list. When you bake carbohydrate-rich foods at high temperatures, a chemical reaction occurs between sugars and amino acids called the Maillard reaction. This is what gives crisp bread its golden color and toasted flavor. But this same reaction produces acrylamide, a compound classified by the International Agency for Research on Cancer as a Group 2, a probable human carcinogen. Research published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that crisp bread, particularly rye crisp bread, contains some of the highest levels of acrylamide among baked goods. The European Food Safety Authority confirmed in 2015 that acrylamide in food potentially increases cancer risk for consumers in all age groups, with children most at risk based on body weight. Rye crisp bread specifically was found to contain 527 micrograms per kilogram of acrylamide in Swedish National Food Administration testing. Compare that to white bread at just 93 micrograms per kilogram. The dark, crispy texture consumers associate with quality crisp bread is actually an indicator of higher acrylamide formation. Your #1 crisp bread brand is Italian-owned, connected to anti-gay controversy, subject to ongoing deception lawsuits, and baked using processes that create probable carcinogens with every bite. Number 2, Leksands, Sweden's traditional round crisp bread, marketed as family-baked since 1817. The company claims 6 generations of the June family have maintained the same recipe using Swedish rye, spring water from their own well, yeast, and a pinch of salt. Pure Scandinavian heritage, right? In April 2021, Leksands issued a recall for multiple crisp bread products after testing revealed contamination with ochratoxin A, a mold toxin that exceeded legal limits. The affected products included brown-baked crispy round, brown-baked crackle triangle, mini square brown-baked round-shaped normal baked, and round-squared brown-baked varieties. Ochratoxin A is classified by the International Agency for Research on Cancer as a possible human carcinogen. It's produced by certain molds and can contaminate cereals, including rye. The Swedish National Food Administration confirmed the contamination and advised consumers to discard affected products immediately. The company stated similar cases had not been detected before, which raises the question of how comprehensive their testing protocols actually were. Mold toxins in grain supplies can indicate problems with storage conditions, moisture control, or supplier quality management. And here's what most consumers don't realize about traditional crisp bread production. The characteristic texture requires extreme dryness, which means the bread must be baked at high temperatures for extended periods. Lexans uses what they call fossil-free bakery operations since 2013, but the baking temperatures still create the same acrylamide concerns as every other manufacturer. The company proudly advertises that they bake without additives, but absence of additives doesn't mean absence of processing contaminants. Acrylamide forms naturally during baking regardless of whether you add preservatives or artificial ingredients. Lexans also has an interesting corporate history regarding competition. When competitor Vicabröd was sold to Lexans, the company eventually stopped producing that crisp bread line. When an entrepreneur named Anders wanted to buy back the factory and recipe, Lexans created restrictions that made acquisition impossible. When they finally sold the building, they destroyed all the ovens and machines for making the crisp bread. This is how traditional family bakeries treat competition in the industry. Number 3. Finn Crisp. Finnish tradition since the 1952 Helsinki Summer Olympics. Pure Finnish lake water, sourdough, and 100% whole grain rye. The packaging celebrates Finnish heritage with phrases like original Finnish recipe and baked in Finland. Except Finn Crisp is owned by Lantmännen, a Swedish agricultural cooperative. Not Finnish, Swedish. Lantmännen is owned by approximately 17,000 Swedish farmers and operates as Northern Europe's leader in agriculture, machinery, bioenergy, and food products. They have 12,000 employees across more than 20 countries, with annual turnover exceeding 4 billion euros. So your authentic Finnish crisp bread from the 1952 Olympics is actually controlled by a Swedish agricultural conglomerate. The historical Finnish bakery, Vasen Group, developed the Finn Crisp brand in 1952, but that Finnish ownership is long gone. The packaging states, "Thank you for choosing good food from Lantmännen. We are owned by Swedish farmers." But this disclosure is buried on the back of the package, while Finnish imagery dominates the front. Consumers who don't read the fine print believe they're supporting Finnish tradition. And here's where it connects to broader concerns about industrial agriculture. Lantmännen operates across the entire grain supply chain from field to fork. That means they control not just the baking, but also the farming, including the pesticide applications that take place during cultivation. A 2023 FoodWatch investigation called The Dark Side of Grains analyzed pesticide residues in European cereal products. The report found that 37% of tested products contained at least one pesticide, with 65 different pesticides identified across samples. Common pesticides included chlormequat, pyramifos methyl, and glyphosate. Glyphosate is classified by the World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer as a probable human carcinogen. Bayer, which acquired Monsanto, has set aside over $16 billion to cover litigation related to cancer claims from glyphosate exposure. Multiple jury verdicts have found Roundup caused plaintiffs non-Hodgkin lymphoma, including a $2.1 billion verdict in March 2025. Independent testing by the Environmental Working Group found glyphosate in all wheat-based food products tested, with pasta samples containing 60 to 150 parts per billion. Glyphosate is increasingly sprayed on grains just before harvest to dry out crops for faster harvesting, a practice called desiccation. When agricultural cooperatives control both farming and food production, There's less separation between pesticide decisions and your breakfast table. If you're finding this information valuable, hit that subscribe button and share this video with anyone who eats Crispbread. The brands coming up reveal even more about what's really happening in the Scandinavian food industry. Stick around because the final brands might surprise you, and the tips at the end could help you make much better choices. Number 4. Kavli, Norwegian heritage since 1893. Olav Kavli founded the company in Bergen to produce Norway's finest products. Today, Kavli operates under a charitable trust structure where all profits go to humanitarian causes. This sounds like the ethical choice, right? But consumers have reported significant quality changes after production moved from Norway to Germany. Amazon reviews contain multiple complaints about Kavli Crispbreads that used to be made in Norway, now bearing product of Germany labels with noticeably inferior quality, broken crackers in boxes, and changed taste profiles. One reviewer stated the German-made crispy thins are an inferior product compared to the original Norwegian recipe. Another noted the crackers are not what I wanted. They changed quality of the rye crackers. Multiple consumers have contacted Kavli in Bergen asking them to return to Norwegian production and original recipes. When a Norwegian heritage brand moves production to Germany to cut costs while maintaining premium Norwegian pricing, consumers pay Norwegian prices for German manufacturing. The charitable trust structure means profits go to good causes, but that doesn't mean you're getting the quality that built the brand's reputation. And Kavli Crispbreads face the same acrylamide concerns as every other manufacturer using high-temperature baking processes. The company makes no specific claims about acrylamide mitigation strategies, testing protocols, or variety selection to reduce carcinogenic compound formation. Number 5. Siljan's traditional whole rye Crispbread wheels. The large round format that Scandinavians have eaten for generations. Authentic heritage product from Sweden. Except Siljan's is actually a sub-brand of Finn Crisp, which means it's owned by Lantmännen, the Swedish agricultural cooperative. Same parent company as Finn Crisp, same supply chain, same pesticide concerns, same acrylamide formation during baking. When you see Siljan's and Finn Crisp as separate brands in the store, you might think you're choosing between different companies. You're not. You're choosing between different labels owned by the same Swedish agricultural conglomerate. This consolidation pattern is common across food industries. Companies maintain multiple brand identities to create an illusion of marketplace competition while controlling supply chains and production facilities behind the scenes. Siljan's products are baked in Finland at the same Lantmännen cerealia facilities that produce Finn Crisp. The same equipment, same processes, same ingredient suppliers. Different packaging, same corporate owner. The ingredients list shows whole grain rye flour, yeast, water, and salt. Simple and traditional. But those simple ingredients still undergo the Maillard reaction during baking, still contain whatever pesticide residues were present in the grain supply, and still arrive through a multinational corporate supply chain that operates across 20 countries. Number 6. Sigdal Bakeri, Norwegian artisanal Crispbread from the small town of Prestfoss in Sigdal municipality. Family bakery tradition since the 1970s. Seed-based recipes developed in the local kitchen with artisanal small batch production. This positioning sounds like the authentic alternative to corporate giants. But look at the contact information on Sigdal's website. Export inquiries go to Natalie at unitedbakeries.no United Bakeries. Sigdal Bakeri operates under the United Bakeries umbrella, a larger Norwegian bakery group. The artisanal positioning and small-town imagery are real, but the distribution and business operations connect to a larger corporate structure. The company started making gourmet crisp bread in 2010 and launched their seed cracker bread in 2015. That means this isn't centuries of tradition. It's a 15-year-old product line positioned as artisanal craftsmanship. Sigdal's products do contain significant seed content, with some varieties reaching 46% or even 76% seeds. This seed-heavy approach means lower rye content, which could theoretically mean lower acrylamide formation, since asparagine concentrations in seeds differ from grain flour. But Sigdal also uses canola oil in many formulations. Canola oil production involves hexane solvent extraction in most conventional processing, and North American canola is predominantly genetically modified. The natural and artisanal positioning doesn't necessarily mean chemical-free production. The company's gluten-free products contain corn flour, which introduces different concerns about glyphosate, as corn is one of the crops most heavily treated with herbicides in North American agriculture. Number 7. GG Scandinavian Fiber Crispbread. This brand has achieved cult status among health-conscious consumers, endorsed by dietitians, featured on social media, and recommended for high-fiber diets. The F-Factor diet built its program around GG crackers, and the hashtag #GG crackers has thousands of posts showing these 20-calorie, 4-gram fiber crackers with elaborate toppings. The story sounds charming. Gunnar Gundersen created the original recipe in 1935 in Larvik, Norway, to address his digestive health concerns. Still made in Norway by the Gundersen family, using a 12-hour slow baking process. Traditional Scandinavian authenticity. But GG became a brand of the Hain Celestial Group, a major American corporation headquartered in Lake Success, New York, traded on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. Your Norwegian heritage Crispbread was distributed by a publicly traded American food conglomerate with annual revenues in the billions. And here's something that should alarm California consumers. GG Scandinavian Fiber Crispbread products carry Proposition 65 warnings, stating exposure to this product may contain chemicals including lead, which is known to the state of California to cause cancer, birth defects, and other reproductive harm. This warning appears on the Marty website listing for GG crackers. California's Proposition 65 requires businesses to notify consumers about significant exposures to chemicals that cause cancer, birth defects, or reproductive harm. The presence of lead in a Crispbread product marketed for health-conscious consumers deserves attention. The product is marketed as containing 85% bran with slow dehydration at low temperatures that supposedly prevents destruction of vitamins and minerals. But low-temperature dehydration is different from traditional Crispbread baking. This process may reduce acrylamide formation compared to high-temperature methods, but the Proposition 65 warning introduces different concerns. Consumer reviews reveal mixed experiences. Some praise the fiber content and health benefits. Others describe the texture as like chewing cardboard, and note that you eat it for health reasons, rather than taste enjoyment. One reviewer stated, "You don't buy this product for the flavor and texture, you eat it because you care about your health." The irony of a health-focused Crispbread carrying cancer and reproductive harm warnings shouldn't be lost on consumers paying premium prices for supposed wellness benefits. Here's how to protect yourself. Look for organic certification. Organic Crispbreads cannot use synthetic pesticides, including glyphosate. While organic products may still contain trace contamination from neighboring conventional farms, certified organic dramatically reduces pesticide exposure. Check the country of production, not just the country of brand origin. Norwegian packaging doesn't mean Norwegian manufacturing. Swedish heritage doesn't mean Swedish baking. Read the fine print to determine where your Crispbread actually comes from. Consider lighter baked options. Research shows acrylamide increases with darker baking. If you see pale, lightly baked Crispbread alongside dark, heavily toasted versions, the lighter option likely contains less acrylamide. Research actual ownership structures. Family names on packaging don't guarantee family ownership. Search for parent companies, recent acquisitions, and corporate relationships before assuming small batch authenticity. Look for sourdough fermentation. Recent research published in 2023 shows that tailored sourdough fermentation can reduce acrylamide content in rye Crispbread. Sourdough processes create organic acids that lower pH and affect asparagine availability during baking. Limit portion sizes for children. European Food Safety Authority research confirms children face highest acrylamide risk based on body weight. If Crispbread is a regular part of children's diets, consider rotating with alternatives that don't require high-temperature baking. Support genuinely small producers. Local bakeries and small batch producers who control their own supply chains offer more transparency than multinational corporations hiding behind heritage branding. Ask questions about grain sourcing, baking temperatures, and ownership structures. Read ingredient lists carefully. Simple ingredients like rye, water, yeast, and salt sound traditional, but check for added oils, corn flour, or other additions that may introduce different concerns. The shortest ingredient list isn't always the safest if those few ingredients come through problematic supply chains. So, which brand on this list surprised you the most? Drop your answer in the comments, share this with anyone who deserves to know what's really in their crisp bread, and if you want to watch another video like this one, click the video on your screen. Thanks for watching.